Who's actually going to get the most out of a robotic pool cleaner, who can safely skip it, and does the price make sense for a typical homeowner who just wants a clean swim? Those are the three questions I keep hearing whenever someone mentions a poolvac robot, and the Sequedim model is no exception. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon, so you can see the exact specs and pricing before we dive deeper. First off, let's talk about the kind of setup you need. The unit is designed for in-ground pools up to about 2,000 square feet, which covers most residential pools from modest backyard ovals to the larger rectangular shapes you see in community centers. You literally plug the power cord into a standard GFCI outlet, drop the robot into the water, and press start. The machine's internal battery gives you just over 3 hours of run time, so for a 1,800 square foot pool it will usually finish a full clean cycle without needing a recharge. That sit and forget moment is what sells the idea to busy families, but the reality is a bit more nuanced. If you've ever tried a manual vacuum, you know the hassle of dragging a hose, fighting tangled lines, and constantly adjusting the head to reach corners. The Sequedim robot handles that by using an intelligent path planning algorithm that maps the pool floor and walls as it moves. In practice, that means you'll see it climb the waterline, scrub the tiled steps, and even get into those tight corners where a handheld brush struggles. The path planning isn't perfect on very irregularly shaped pools with a lot of protruding features. The robot can occasionally double back or miss a small pocket, but for the majority of standard designs it does a thorough job. One of the biggest concerns people have is safety, especially if you have kids or pets around the pool. The unit comes with a safety rope that lets you tether the power box to a fixed point, which prevents the whole thing from being pulled out of the water accidentally. In my own testing, the rope stayed securely fastened even when a toddler tried to tug on the robot, and the cord didn't snag on pool ladders or handrails. That Tangle-Free design is a genuine plus compared to older models that relied on a single cable that could wrap around fixtures. Now, who should actually consider buying this? If you own an in-ground pool under 2,000 feet, you're a prime candidate, especially if you're looking to cut down on weekly manual vacuuming time. The robot shines for families who swim regularly, for rental properties where turnover cleaning is a hassle, and for anyone who wants a consistent, low-maintenance clean without learning a complicated setup. The 3-hour runtime means you can schedule a cleaning session while the house is empty, let it run, and come back to a sparkling surface without ever having lifted a hose. On the flip side, you might want to skip this model if your pool is significantly larger than the 2,000-foot limit, or if you have a lot of built-in water features like waterfalls, massive rock walls, or a deep spa attached. The robot's suction power is listed at 150W, which is adequate for everyday leaf and fine debris removal, but it can struggle with heavier muck, such as large pine needles or sand that has settled after a storm. In those cases, you'll still need to run a manual pre-clean or use a leaf net before the robot can do its job efficiently. Another practical consideration is the weight and portability. The body is constructed from a sturdy polymer that feels solid but is still lightweight enough to lift out of the water with one hand. That makes seasonal storage a breeze. You can pull it onto a shelf in the garage or a closet without needing a dolly. However, the design does mean the robot sits relatively low in the water, so if you have a deep plunge, say, deeper than 6 feet, the suction line can sometimes lose a little power as the water pressure changes. Most users won't notice a performance drop, but it's something to keep in mind if you have a deep end you care about. Let's talk about the hidden trade-offs. The 3-hour battery life is generous, but the charger is a wall plug unit that has to stay near a GFCI outlet. If your pool area doesn't have a convenient outlet, you'll need to run an extension cord or install a new receptacle, which adds a bit of extra cost and effort. The robot's cleaning cycle also follows a set pattern. You can't manually direct it to focus on a specific spot that's especially dirty. Some newer robots let you program zones via an app, but Sequedim sticks to a simpler, more affordable approach. For most homeowners that's fine, but power users who want pinpoint control might feel limited. One practical strength that often gets overlooked is the way the robot handles the pool's walls. Many lower-end cleaners simply bounce off the surface, leaving a line of debris along the perimeter. This model actually climbs the wall using a